James McMillan, 4715 McCampbell Drive, Knoxville, Tennessee. I'd like to thank you for first having the public hearing where a lot of different views can be talked about and seen. Today, everybody's talking about minimum standards. Does our minimum standards meet the minimum standards of the cities? We're going to hire people to check minimum standards and minimum standards. Knox County promised the citizens of Knox County a Cadillac ordinance. Any modern-day stormwater ordinance has to address two issues: water quality, which we're talking about, and the increased flood hazards from new development that's created in our community by urbanization. That's what we're talking about here today. This ordinance doesn't address these issues in many different ways. We have not changed the way we're wanting to manage our water. In the state of Tennessee, when you change your drainage patterns, there's common law practice in Tennessee. You cannot change the natural flow of the water onto somebody else. It's common law. It's been followed up in state statutes and everything, but that's considered a civil matter. It's a trespass. This ordinance doesn't even address what problems we're in right now. We're in increased volumes. Now, when it rains, the people down in Emberlin Avenue have to address 10 times the amount of water that used to drain down through there on the same rain event maybe 2 years ago, because we're urbanizing. We're changing our natural pattern. We're not addressing the volume, the total volume of water these sites are creating. This is creating more flood hazards. We discussed, or she did, about the in-stream bank erosion. That is the first thing they teach in hydrological classes. It's Manning's equation to uniform flow. When you add more water, you increase the weight. When you increase the weight, you increase the speed because it's flowing. Gravity dictates. When you keep increasing it, you increase the speed. The speed increases and causes in-channel erosion through friction. It's science. It's simple. We've not changed our process. It's still the same way. We're going to dump more water in more streams. These streams can't handle the flow now. We're at a critical level. This ordinance, if passed, you're telling the citizens and the property owners that live in these watersheds that their property is going to continue to be damaged at increased levels and heights for storm events. I know this board and county commission, I even run against Mr. Smith, because it is the duty and honor of county commission to support the public health and safety of the citizens. Stormwater is a public health and safety issue. Are we going to tell the next generation that they've got to pay for the mistakes made by this generation? That is a question I hope you all will study with. This ordinance can be modified very easy to address these problems. If we could send somebody up, or, excuse me, the MPC director is right here. We have an MPC policy of how we're supposed to develop in Knox County. It's called retention. We retain the water. We don't dump it on the neighbor. We don't create more problems. We cannot have consistent development when we keep creating excesses and dumping it in our streams. We increase more flooding for the citizens to have to fix later on. Well, I'll get on and let somebody else speak.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan.